Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I will be reviewing Flinthook by Tribute Games. I did receive this game as a review copy, so I didn't pay for it, just a little bit of transparency there. Let's start with an overview of the game. Flinthook is a platformer with shooting elements. You've got a grappling hook. It reminds me a little bit of Bionic Commando, which was one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. You have some pretty great abilities in your kit as well. Not just a grappling hook, like I mentioned before, but you've also got bombs, things that can freeze the whole screen. You've got this belt that can slow down time. There's a lot that you can do, and there's also a lot of ways to customize your character as well. As you earn money, you can unlock these cards, which you can then equip to change how you play the game, be it the ability to do extra damage or have bigger bomb blasts, or you can have extra health. You can earn experience points faster. It's really up to you how you want to customize your character, and I don't feel like there's a best way to go, which is always a great thing when it comes to player choice. It doesn't feel good to be given player choice only to be railroaded down this one path that is clearly the best way to go. Everyone is probably going to be playing Flinthook differently, and if you're like me, you're going to go for extra hit points almost every single time, a lot of defensive stuff, because you're constantly going to be running into spikes or getting hit as you fling yourself around the room. The game has roguelike elements that I really like. You have this compass that eats spirit shards. It's really weird. It needs these spirit stones in order to find the boss, the enemy that you're the bounty that you're hunting. You have to get these stones from levels, but if you die, you lose all of the stones. However, like most roguelikes, you get to keep the gold you've earned and items that you've unlocked, so your time hasn't been wasted. And when you go back into these levels to try and get those spirit stones again, you will experience new levels. There'll be different layouts, different enemies to face, and it's a lot of fun. And you're going to spend a lot of time playing this game before you actually get to reach the first boss because of this gameplay loop. The game is designed to be difficult, I think, and you're supposed to build up as you go through these first sets of levels over and over and over. And that's a thing that's very, very common in roguelike games. Let's talk about the graphics for just a second. I'm sure that you all already know this, but this is an art style it's just my bread and butter. There's just something reassuring about 16-bit art, like Linus's blanket from the Peanuts. Tribute did a great job with the art direction here. Everything feels old school, but the backgrounds seem to move around like it's a living, breathing space. There's a depth to the backgrounds that really makes the locations feel like they're real. Be it ropes swaying back and forth, or there's a million different things that you can stop and look at in the background that just make it look really awesome. I don't know if it would have worked on a Super Nintendo back in the day, but it's definitely something that looks like it would have if the things weren't moving around. And it's this combination of an old aesthetic with a newness to it that is just awesome. And I love when developers go for that, and they just nailed it with Flinthook. Speaking of things that they nailed with this game, Flinthook has an amazing soundtrack. Even if you don't check out the game, if you like chiptunes even a little bit, you're going to adore the music in this game. The sound effects are good as well, but the star of the show here is the music. It's high energy without feeling repetitive. And if I had to compare it to something, I think that I would say it reminds me of Shovel Knight's soundtrack, which is definitely high praise. That's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. I love the music in Flinthook, and Tribute did a fantastic job with it. The controls are good, but they take a little bit of getting used to. I feel like they're tight enough that you can be extremely precise if you're good, but I never felt like I got good at the game. Of course, that could just be me. I mean, there are certain games that I'm just going to be bad at, and there are certain games that I'll be good at, and that's just the way it is. I'm not one of those people that's good at every game. There is a lot of stuff that you can do at any moment in the game, and the game moves really fast. So sometimes I felt like I was just button mashing or riding by the seat of my pants. I can definitely see how someone who was very good at the game could make some amazing moves, but watching me play would probably be pretty frustrating, as I constantly tended to make the same mistakes over and over and over again, and just kept getting killed. All right, let's hit the final thoughts. Flinthook is a really, really fun game that can get frustrating at times. I never felt like the game was at fault for any of my deaths, but that doesn't make it any less irritating when you've got almost enough spirit shards to get the compass to tell you where the boss is, only to get yourself killed yet again. If you think you're pretty good at fast-paced platformers, let's say that 5 times fast, I think Flinthook is definitely something that you should check out. The fact that you're constantly making progress, even if you die, is great, and that's one of the reasons I love the genre of roguelikes, but I do wish you had more than one life. If you've played Flinthook, let me know what you think of the game in the comment section below, and be sure to check out my Nintendo podcast, which is called Switchcraft, and you can find that over at runjumpstomp.com. Until next time, bye-bye.